Alright, this is Calvary Cemetary, November 10th, 2023. Veterans Day today and tomorrow. We're going to be going to Section 3. It's where the Ryans and the Newlands are buried at. Right there, that's their offices. And to the right here, this is Section 3. Section 1. And from here, a couple rows over, to the right here. And this is Margaret Ryan and her husband Matt Noonan. And to the right, I'm going to have to wipe off the brush here. And to the right here, this is James Ryan. He's a World War I veteran. Buried next to his sister, Margaret Ryan, which are all cousins to Julia McLaughlin. Somewhere up in the center there is Maisie Ryan. Alright, this is Mary A. Ryan. It's the sister of Margaret Ryan and the other Ryan from World War I veteran. They're all cousins to Julia McLaughlin, and everybody used to call her Aunt Maisie. Off in the distance there, where that flagpole is at, it's where her sister is buried at, and brother. And we're back to Margaret Ryan and James Ryan. And that Maisie's over there by the statue with the angel on top. And from section 3, we're going to go around the bend here. section 3 on the left hand side. Now to the left here is section 38. That's where my godmother's buried at. And from section 3, I'm going to walk over to section 38. We're looking for the Schultz gravestone. Mary Jane Murphy, mom and dad and grandparents should be right in front of that, to the left. Okay, this is Mary Jane Murphy. This is my godmother. Now Mary Jane and her sister grew up on Daisy Avenue, a couple houses down from Great Grandma Johnson at 3510 Daisy. Mary Jane is buried with her mother's mom and dad, right there. And this is her mother, Helen Murphy, and this is her father, John Murphy. And they all lived on Daisy Avenue. This is section 38 of Calvary. And if you look to the right, there's a gravestone with Schultz on it. And to the left, there's a Rini. And it's right by the roadway here. And from section 38, Mary Jane Murphy's buried at with her grandparents and her mom and dad. It's a short walk to section 8, where all the Sanciolas are buried at. This is the Sanciola family. This is Jane's great-grandparents. Right here. You got a heart-shaped stone here. This is Lawrence and Angela Rini Sanciola. They had 12 children. When they bought this plot, there were 6 of them. Bought 6 plots. And in front of them, covered up with leaves, is Frank and Carmela Sanciola, which is Jane's grandparents. I have to brush the leaves off. And one of Frank's and Carmela's son right there. And this is Nick Sanciola, which is the son of Lawrence and Angela Rini. Lawrence and Angela Rini Cianciola. The Cianciolas, Lawrence and Angela Rini Cianciola, they had 12 children. And so did Frank and Carmel had 12 children. Yeah, to wipe some of the dirt off these graves here. Like I said, Lawrence and Angela Rini Cianciola, they had 12 children. And if you're ready to Cianciola in the city of Cleveland, they're all related to these two right here. These are the head of the families. Now right here, this is Frank Cianciola. This is Lawrence and Angela Rini's son. And this is his wife, Carmela Papiro Cianciola. They had 12 children also. Now if you look at the date when she passed away, it was in 1980. And I was with her with Jane and her mom and dad. Had a whole bunch of Cianciolas. And at the time, I had no idea that we had other families buried here in Calvary. But this is Vincent Cianciola. This is Carmela and Frank Cianciola's son. Now when Lawrence and Angela Rini bought this plot, they bought 6 sections. There's 6 grave areas here. And this is Nick Cianciola. This is Frank Cianciola's brother, which is, he's the son of Lawrence and Angela Rini Cianciola. And this is his wife next to him, Josephine. And their son, Lawrence, who passed away in 1934. So right in this section here, like I said, this is section 8. So 2, 4, 5. You got 8 Cianciolas buried here. But like I said, Lawrence and Angela Rini had 12 kids, and Frank and Carmela Papiro had 12 kids. So these are Jane's grandparents. Met her, never met him. And here are Jane's great-grandparents. We're going to back out of section 8 here. Really quiet at the cemetery today. I'm kind of surprised. A lot of flags though still. Like I said, this is section 8 on a point here. That heart-shaped gravestone. We're going to go down to section 16, which is the baby section for Calvary. This is where all the babies are buried. And there's in the baby section, there's a baby boy Green buried there. He's in the center. And he is the baby son of John and Julia McLaughlin Green. Right to your right here is section 16, which is the baby section. And this is the baby section here. Got the angel and the gravestone statue there. This is where all the baby infants are buried. They've been in the ground a long time. But in the center there, somewhere in the center, is a baby boy Green. That's the infant son of Julian McLaughlin and John Green. Of all the Greens, the baby was the first one buried here. Now all these graves have been in the ground so long, they're covered with 2 inches of grass and sod. Now we're going to go through the baby section over here. Calvary. Like I said, these babies have been in the ground a long time. They're covered up with 2 inches of grass and sod. Right across the way there, the statue on the left. There's Great Grandma Johnson. Wait for some of this traffic to go by here. Right there is Great Grandma Johnson. And now this is section 15. It's over by the tunnel over here. And across from the baby section. Right there. There's Great Grandma Johnson. Catherine Conlon Green Johnson. I think she was 80. She was born in 1851, died in 1843. Lived through 2 world wars. Outlived 2 husbands and 4 of her 6 children. She must have been a stout woman. Came from Ireland all by herself when she was 18 years old. Now over here on the left, this is Thomas Green. This is Catherine and Charles Green's first boy. Charles passed away right after Thomas was born in 1875. In New Jersey. His older sister, Mary E. Green, buried at Holy Cross Cemetery next to Frank and Mary A. Green Johnson. Now William William is the father of Bill Johnson and also Gertrude Johnson Strasser. And Gertie and her husband Vince Strasser are buried at Holy Cross, right down the way from Grandma and Grandpa Johnson in that Maine. Now he was the second one of the boys for her between Catherine Green Johnson and Gerhard Johnson. Her husband Gerhard built the house on Daisy Avenue, and all of these people on this gravestone, except for the baby on the left-hand side, baby Joseph, were either born in the house on Daisy or passed away in the house on Daisy. Now Lillian Gertrude Johnson Moriarty Barrett, now she's the mother of Leah Leroy. She's married next to her husband Frank at Riverside Cemetery. The other daughter, kind of iffy. But after Lillian passed away in 1925, Daisy Avenue, Leah was living in a house over there on Daisy Avenue while she was going to nursing school. Now baby Joseph Johnson, alright, getting back to Thomas Green. Now he was in the Spanish-American War. He actually served in the Philippines. And that's a long time ago and a long way from home. And he died in 1913. Died on Daisy Avenue. Now getting back to the baby Joseph now. After Catherine Conlon Green married Gerhard Johnson, they were living in Bracknell at the time. He had his own business at the time. And this is their first baby boy that they deemed, the two of them. Baby Joseph Johnson. Now they were living in Bracknell at the time, and there's a private cemetery there. It's called Burton Cemetery. And it was on the person who owned all that property in Bracknell at the time was Burton. And Gerhard Johnson was friends of his. And he was buried in that graveyard. But the problem with that is that after they closed that cemetery, they moved all the bodies, and I keep looking. I cannot find this little baby boy. But he was born in 1884, passed away in 1884. Someday maybe we'll find him, but as of right now, no. And also, when they bought this plot, I don't know if great-grandma Johnson bought it or Aunt Mame paid for it, but she bought it with provisions for 4 people buried here. Thomas Green was the first one. Lillian Barrett Green Johnson was the second, and William Johnson was the third. He died in 1930. That was the same year that his father, Gerhard Johnson, passed away out there in California with his second wife. So, and that's why I put the American flag there with the Irish rose for Grandma, great-grandma Johnson. She must have been a really stout woman. Yeah, he put the call in for the National Archives in D.C. for Thomas Green's records, and they said, we don't have any records of him. But on Ancestry, there's definitely records of him serving in the Philippines during the Spanish-American War. So that's why I put the flag there. It should stay up until March 15th of 2024. Okay, from section 15, we're going to go through the tunnel here. They're still using these railroad tracks up here. We're going to go through the tunnel here. First row to the left. I'm going to go past section 23 here. A lot of old trees here. And if you look on the right, there's a grave marker. '24. Grave marker 20 right here. This is section 20. Now if you look over to the right here, this is where Julia McLaughlin is buried at. Go up here where the Siegel or Jessel gravestone's at. You kind of look to your right. There's this Holicht gravestone with a cross on it. Just keep walking towards that. And then towards the left here, right here, is Julia McLaughlin Green and John Green. I'm gonna wipe this stuff off. Okay. Now, Julia McLaughlin Green bought this plot years ago with 6 grave sites. And here's her husband John Green and herself and her sister Anna Donegan, which is a McLaughlin, and Bridget McLaughlin Candow. Now down front here with no grave, there's a baby buried here, which is Bridget Candow's granddaughter. Buried here. And also Patrick McLaughlin, which is Julia McLaughlin's brother, is buried here. But nothing marked on the gravestone, so there's 6 of them in the ground here. And Anna Donegan, Anna McLaughlin Donegan is buried here. And John Green, now his mom and dad is Deborah Burgess Green, married to John Green. They're buried at St. Calvary Cemetary in Berea on Depot Street. And also his grandparents, Edward and Anna Donahue Green, are buried there too. And off in the distance over there, in the other section, that's where Thomas and Mary Ann Klopper buried at. and the other section on the other side there. So if you look around here, you walk back to see where Krajecki's at, and then walk straight back to the street there. And while I'm here, but Bridget McLaughlin Candow's daughter and her husband are buried right over this ridge. You gotta keep walking on the grass there, down the hill in that section, and that's where her and her husband are buried at. Okay, from here, we're going to be going up the road here a little bit. A lot of hills there at Calvary. Must be tough in the winter time. A lot of old trees though. Wow. And we're going to be going down the hill here. Turn to the right here. We're going to be driving down to section 23 on the left hand side for great grandpa Klopp and his wife Marianne. Towards the end here. And what you'd be looking for is the gravestone up on the hill here on the left hand side with Markovic. Okay, this is section 23. This is great grandpa Klopp and his wife Marianne are buried. You just look up the hill here in front of Makovich. This is where they're buried at. And I gotta wipe some more leaves off. Okay, like I said, that's Makovich. Look for the Greek gravestone and then come here and Thomas William Klopp on the left here, and his wife Marianne Klopp. She died in 1960. And I want to thank our cousin Linda Gushmeter Sloan for all the pictures of Marianne and the rest of our family in that. They're really great. Other than that, we would never know who these people look like. And on the left here, for Thomas W. Klopp, I'd like to thank our third cousin, Jane Harden, for the pictures that she sent through Ancestry to me of Thomas William Klopp. Other than that, nobody would know what he looks like. But she also sent along pictures of all his brothers and sisters, which is great. And a note here, buried with great grandpa Klopp here is their daughter Grace Klopp Sykes. Their little baby girl is buried right in front of Thomas William Klopp here. The little baby, and there's no marking there, but she's right underneath there, underneath Grandpa Klopp there. Babies being married, buried with grandparents. Well, but I had no idea that they were buried here. Who knew, right? Well, that's the way it goes. And this is where James Ryan's buried at. Look at Piazza. And just go back. These are all like kind of rainbow pattern here. This is James Ryan right here. Got to clean up the grave just a little bit. This is the relationship from here to the edge of the road. Just like the third time I've been here at this cemetery looking for him. Finally found him. Yeah, this is section 18. That's where Frank Ryan is buried at. Right behind his grave, Piazza. About 12 rows back. Go straight back to where that tree's at there. There it is. We're leaving section 23. Where the Klops are buried at. We're going to turn right here. Go back through the tunnel. Turn right here, section 15, where Great Grandma Johnson is buried at. And we got the flag there now, flowers. We're going to go up here, it's kind of winding around. This is going to be going up to section 10. This is where the O'Malleys are buried. This is John Green and Angela O'Malley's parents, grandparents, cousins, nieces, nephews, and there's like 15 of them buried here. And this is section 10 that we're looking at on the left-hand side here. And this is where the O'Malleys are buried at, section 10. Like I said, there's like 15 of them buried here. This is Angela O'Malley Green's mom and dad are buried here, her aunts and uncles and cousins and nephews. Like I said, there's like 15 of them buried here. And next to the Lowry family on the left, and the Corrigan family on the right, and 3 sections from the tree right there. Turn around here, all winding section here. And from section 10 here, Angela's mom and dad, we're going to go to town and see Uncle Johnny and Angela O'Malley Green. Still looking for pictures of her. But They're in section 8 here where the CSO is at, but they're on the other end of the point. To the right there is where Johnny Green buried it. Just look at the bushes here. Let's follow the bushes. Where Uncle Johnny and Aunt Angela and Angie O'Malley are buried. O'Malley Green buried. And like I said, no gravestone. They're buried between the Reese family and the Hammerly family. You go look behind that cross there, straight out to the road. That's where you're gonna find them at. Like I said, the Stanciolas are down on a point down there.